Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Ninjas Are Butterflies. Today, I'm going to be talking about a creepy little creature that lives under the ice water in the Arctic Circle. It's going to grab your ankle and it's going to drown you. So, watch out.
And there's a man just off the coast of America who became the king of his own island. George Bush said, "You're not invited." And speaking of desert fathers, we talk about Anthony the Great and him battling Satan himself.
I can't come up with anything original. I'm tired. 2 shows in a week is tiring.
It is.
So this podcast is brought to you and powered by Sunday Cool. Watch this or listen.
Huzzah! Have the cherry.
That is so funny. Did you see what Andrew said?
That's great.
That's so funny.
I took that over-the-counter calm thing that you got,
Yeah.
and I'm burping lavender.
They say that's a side effect.
Burping lavender.
I can't tell if it's pleasant or not.
Honestly,
Is it calming? Or you don't really tell?
great.
Yeah.
great band name. Burping lavender.
Burping lavender.
Welcome to the stage, Burping Lavender.
What?
This is so good. It's giving me goosebumps.
Pop-Tarts, please sponsor us.
Oh my gosh.
Get goosebumps from a Pop-Tart.
Oh my gosh.
Pop-Tart Goosebumps, another great band name.
Whatever this new tradition is, I haven't had as many Pop-Tarts.
What?
I haven't had as many Pop-Tarts since I was a little kid.
This Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts.
I love Pop-Tarts.
It's giving me goosebumps. The Pop-Tarts.
Please give me more Pop-Tarts.
Watch out, guys. This is the paparazzi's here.
Oh, snap. Oh, Mr. Andrew.
Papa.
Tootsie. I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you until
Flag.
That was really good, so we probably will be flagged for
That
that.
was
We'll
really
see.
good, you
We
guys.
shall see.
People have no idea how big of a problem that is if that gets flagged.
It's gonna be. It has to be longer than like 5 or 10 seconds.
I don't know because I've done the transitions with the logo,
true.
and I've used something from Artlist, and even though we pay for it, they've flagged us. Literally, it's like 6 seconds.
Yeah, it's strange. I just see like vloggers and like prank videos that like legitimately use real hip hop songs, but they'll play it for 4 seconds and then cut it.
I think they're
And then
actually
boom.
willing to go after, like, because that's a known track too.
Oh yeah, just like bigger channels, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I really don't.
We are so big, guys.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
We're so big. Shout out Andrew, got me a Diet Mountain now, dude.
Dude, I can't see Josh's.
Wants to look at you.
I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you until
Do
you
you love
love
me?
me. A Papa Tartsy.
Papa Tarty.
This is too loud for the microphone. All this crackling.
I think everybody knows by now because it seemed to become a little viral on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know our favorite show,
Yes.
Arthur,
Yes.
on PBS?
Yeah.
No.
That's Arthur. What are you talking about? What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about then.
Arthur? Hey, what a wonderful kind of day.
What was I singing?
I don't know.
It's Franklin. I was saying Franklin. Do you remember Franklin?
The
Yeah.
turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yes, I knew what you were talking about, but I got the theme songs mixed up.
It was sung by Ziggy Marley.
What?
Whoa!
No way.
Ziggy Marley
Oh, that's
sang
cool.
Arthur's song.
That makes total sense. Why it's
Yeah.
so catchy.
Hey, what a wonderful kind of day.
I loved Arthur.
Arthur
Get
was
along
good.
with each other.
What was the sister's name?
3 little birds.
DW.
JW. I always thought that was
DW.
GW. I thought that's such a cool name.
D as in dog.
D?
Yeah.
DW. JW sounds better.
D as
JW.
in Doberman.
JW sounds too boyish. She's a girl.
Yeah, okay. Francis. Talking about Francis.
Anytime you're talking to someone, you know, you say like A as in apple.
Yeah.
You should just do words that literally you can't figure out. Like
There's-
D as in Django.
Yeah, that they're like there's a TikTok video that I saw like that one time, and they were just using the most obscure words.
You know, there's like an actual like alphabet where it's a pre-chosen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Alpha Tango Z.
It's military.
Yeah, like that. Military.
Yeah.
I will be on a phone call and I'll make up my own words because I don't know what the.
What do you do when you're spelling out, like, what is the most common thing? Because I always have to spell out my last name, which is the easiest name. People think it's complicated when they hear it, but then they go like, oh no, it's
It's very
D
phonetically.
noon.
Yeah.
Like it's D noon.
Yeah.
But they're like, can you spell that?
Mine is that they always call me Cooper, Lily Cooper.
Oh yeah.
That's been my whole life. And
I've
even
only
at the
been a Hooper
doctor,
for
they're like they're trying to
6
spell my
years.
name on. I'm like, it's just Pooper, but with an H. Is it? Oh, that actually helps.
But I always go D as in dog, E as in elephant, N as in New York, and then just OON.
Mhm.
What do you do? What are your like go to, like as in?
Whenever comes to mind first.
You don't have like a set
No,
one?
I don't.
That'd be crazy. If I never just like had like I had to think of like a new D every single time, I'd run out of things.
I really should pre-plan and
Yeah.
memorize that, but it's always in the moment.
You should do a theme. Like like dogs. Like so you're like, okay, I'm just doing dogs now. It's like D as in Doberman Pinscher, E as in every kind of dog.
Eskimo. Oh no, that's not it. What are the kind of dogs?
Wow.
Huh?
I was thinking Eskimo dog,
Wow.
but you can't say
Whoa.
that word. I know,
Oh
I
my
know what
gosh.
it is. It's a new bad word.
No, it is appropriate for cultures. It's completely fine, but it's just as a general term, it's inappropriate.
Am
I don't
thinking about
know
a
that
husky
trying to
dog?
think
A
of
husky.
it.
Yeah, a husky.
Referring to a dog as.
That's you on the phone though. You're like E as an Eskimo. I mean, you can't say that. You can't call that. What is the dog? The Eskimo dogs? The husky.
100%. That happens.
So E as in husky. Got it. Got it.
Do you guys know Jared Isaacman?
Jared Isaacman. No.
He's the NASA chief.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you seen what he looks like?
No. I don't know who he is.
He's a million or a
I
bazillionaire.
saw this clip, dude.
I don't know what this
I've
is.
never seen him.
Listen to this.
This is great.
Trump was had the astronauts of the Apollo mission.
They're in the
at
Oval Office.
Oval Office. And old Jared was there, and this is what Trump had to say. Listen to this.
Are you considering relocating NASA's headquarters out of D.C. once the lease is up? States like Texas, Ohio, and Florida.
Well, the best man to tell you that is the man standing right over here. You heard that question? With those beautiful ears of yours?
Wait, listen.
Super hearing.
Trick of the trade, sir.
Hold on, listen to this. You gotta hear the follow-up.
Are you considering relocating NASA's headquarters out of D.C. once the lease is up? States like Texas, Ohio, and Florida.
Well, the best man to tell you that is the man standing right over here. You heard that question? With those beautiful ears of yours? He's got great hearing, you know. He's got super hearing.
Trick of the trade, sir.
Are you considering
Dude, just getting presidentially roasted.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
You know he said it, and he's just like, all right, I just gotta double down on this.
I don't
now."
think he cared. I don't think he had any embarrassment.
I
on it.
don't
It's
think
just-
he cares.
I'm sure he
Beautiful
brought it up the
ears.
moment he met him. Was like, wow, look at your ears, like Austin Powers. or something.
Beautiful ears.
I could whisper and you
Super
hear me.
hearing. Like a bat. You're a Batman.
Put your ear against the wall. I bet you can hear the conversation in North Dakota. Catch some frequency on those things.
Oh man.
Good times.
Good times. So 2 podcasts in a week, huh?
I'm really enjoying my podcast.
Actually, 3.
Yeah, I guess 3.
True, you guys have one tonight.
I mean, yeah, we've already done it though last week.
Yeah, you guys know. On Patreon and YouTube members, you guys know already. You get it.
Who is it with?
Bart
Sabrel.
Sibrel.
Moon denier.
Hopefully we're not jinxing it. By,
No, he's the one that reached out to us.
yeah.
He's been wanting to do this. So
Emergencies happen, Andy.
No.
All right, go
Bart.
on.
This little baby, we will name him Bart.
I have a big beef with people who just like wait to name their kid as soon as the baby comes out. They're like, you know what? We're just gonna look at the baby and whatever name pops in our mind.
It's crazy.
That's so
Because
crazy.
most of the time, if that was like the case, it would instantly just be like there would be like a million kids named you know, like that's they're not the prettiest things in the world when
Like,
they pop
oh,
right out.
wow.
I think they are.
Beautiful.
You want to bet? You want to pull up some baby pictures?
Dude, look
I
at-
bet we could find some.
Do you remember that time you were like new here and you guys were on like some kind of road trip and I texted Josh a picture of a baby and it said "diss you" because it looked like the craziest baby in the world.
I love that trend with you guys. You guys just send pictures of the most insane things, just say "diss you."
No, I just have TikTok folders of all of you guys.
Which
And
that is something we need to
diabolical.
dive into. I don't know how.
That'll have to be a Patreon.
There's no,
Patreon
there's
for sure.
no appropriate setting.
There's no. You just have to know us and know that we don't mean no ill will with it. It's just.
No one is going to see these folders.
And I don't
It's
understand.
private. This is private.
But Josh will just scroll through TikTok and just see something. And then he'll see something in this person or the vibe of it and just say, this is Andy. This is Andrew. This is Lily. This is the other people you have folders of.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the funniest thing.
They're incredibly offensive.
And I don't have anything mean in my heart to create my own folder for you.
Yeah.
True.
So
I'm
I wish I
working on
could.
it.
I wish I could.
Josh
I'm
also has
working
a
on
Spotify playlist of all really inappropriate music that says Andy's playlist, so
Yeah.
that if people look him up, they think that that's what you listen to.
It's like very girly pop stuff too. And it's like,
But all explicitive.
So funny. Oh man. Speaking of explicitive, you want a song?
Yeah.
All right.
all right.
That's the second time this happened today.
Don't die.
I breathe in and like my throat scratches.
You're having an allergic reaction.
You're dying. Don't
Yeah,
die
fun
on
fact,
me.
I think I figured out I have an intolerance to soy.
Soy.
What? Where do you? Is this?
Why are you shaking your head?
It's not soy, dude. It's the Chick-fil-A.
He's
It's
just
soy.
offended because that's his people's sauce.
This is
Yeah.
the same dude who goes to eat Asian food and is like, this is the greatest thing in my life, and it's fine.
No, but
No,
he
I
has
poop my pants
terrible
every single
tummy
time.
troubles. Yeah, he's always had chronic tummy troubles.
Don't
Don't downplay this.
don't downplay my suffering.
It's just hot people and their tummies. They can't help it. Hot people tummy troubles.
They do say that.
Cause something.
Yeah, anyways, the soy and Chick-fil-A makes me literally diarrhea instantly.
And you eat
Worth
it
it.
every day.
Worth it though.
Every day.
every day. Or whatever else they're putting in that grilled chicken.
Yeah. I mean, who knows?
There's
man.
something in there.
May not even be
Monday-
real chicken.
Monday, Tuesday, I'm like, dude, I think I got the stomach bug. And I was just pooping and pooping and pooping and just going, oh. These past 2 days, great. Or yesterday, great. Today, grilled chicken nuggets. 20 minutes later, oh.
Pooping.
What if it's just artificial meat?
Is it artificial?
That's what
meat?
I think it
I
is.
mean,
'cause
at one point.
I saw
What are
something
we
about
doing?
the Chick-fil-A grilled nuggets, grilled sandwich that like has something in it.
It's
where-
3D printed?
No, I don't think it's that, but it's just not like
gotta
when I
have an
worked at
additive.
Chick-fil-A, like we got cases of frozen chicken in, and like that stuff was prepped. But I don't think they do that anymore for the grilled stuff. It's basically like frozen, ultra processed.
Oh, no.
It's not what it used to be.
You used to work at Chick-fil-A?
Mm-hmm.
Did they pay for your college?
No, I like worked there for a summer, and
Oh.
that was it. No hate, but
No hate.
just a summer.
Oh.
Speaking of hate.
Speaking of hate, do you want a song?
Yeah.
Oh, a piano.
Whoa. Ebony. Ivory.
I don't know.
I don't know. Please don't sing that song.
Song I came up with.
Please don't ever sing a song.
Just trying to end racism. Sorry. Sorry.
Guys, sing your song.
Don't force us.
We'll have to just come up with something real quick.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah. Actually, I am.
All right.
They said it's coming in at midnight. Said there's nothing we can do. They said an asteroid's gonna hit. And I'm just sitting here with you.
Sorry. Yeah, I thought I'd feel more panicked. But it's quiet, kind of still. Guess the end don't feel that different when there's no more time to kill.
We could drive, but where we going? Every road's the same tonight. If this is truly just the end, we should bring some things to light.
Yeah, I think that I agree. No more secrets, no more lies.
Just confess to me right now. Say it all before we die.
I ate your leftovers last week. Said I didn't, that was me. Killed a man in San Francisco, and I've never had to pee. Never liked the band you showed me. I look up to Genghis Khan. I work for the CIA, and my mom is Elton John.
Okay, that's not so bad, I guess. Not surprised that much at all. So tell me just a little more. Things that you never shared before.
I kissed Bigfoot at a party, standing under the moonlight. Taught a dolphin how to gamble, taught a Nazi how to fight. Joined a cult, became the leader, threw a punch and hit a bride. And I've never saw Titanic, saw Sharknado and I cried.
Oh, Andy,
What? What's up?
I just got a text from NASA.
What? Really? What did it say? Is it coming sooner or what?
No, they said it was false alarm. There's no asteroid coming now.
Are you joking? That's
No. What do you mean
What's
you've
up?
What do you mean you've never peed?
I mean, I was joking kind of, but I just never learned. No one ever taught me.
No. Oh,
I don't know.
wait. Who did you teach how to fight?
I can't even remember at this point.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Wow! That was awesome. Very creative, you guys. Wow. I love that. That was so funny.
Man, we did it again. We did it again.
Saw Sharknado and I cried.
Oh man, we have fun. We goof off.
Imagine that on a Broadway play.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So good.
Google.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Broadway. Broadway.
Ninjas on Broadway.
Yeah.
You seen that John Mulaney and Nick Kroll Broadway play?
No.
Oh, Hello. It's where they play two old men, and it's the funniest thing.
Really?
It's so good.
Dang.
Speaking of Broadway,
Yeah. Excuse me.
Oh my gosh.
Excuse me. Stop. Don't even. You fart all the
Oh
time on
my
the
Guys,
couch.
guys,
You've
enough.
never heard me fart.
On the couch? Yes.
oh, plenty of times.
Yes.
I don't
Well
fart.
documented. Cool pants, by the way.
Thanks. Thrifty.
Speaking of Broadway, we have a way for you to answer this,
Oh gosh.
my bride.
Broad.
Whoa.
I didn't.
Whoa.
I said my bride.
I thought you were going there. You said Broadway, and then,
No, I would
wait.
never.
Okay, my bad.
Oh, booger. Stink.
You're off your game.
I
You
love
did it too
it.
soon. You got to get in the flow.
I know. I'm nervous
Okay.
about this question.
No, you shouldn't be. It's pretty. I would actually say it's very simple to answer. Would you agree with this?
100%. I pre-screened it just for you, Lil, just to be like, okay, let's maybe try to take it a little easier. Let's, give her a softball. And I think it's very, very simple.
I no longer understand this segment because it was originally that we were all supposed to answer a question, but now it's not that anymore.
Okay, ask the question.
I don't remember it ever being that way, but
It's always
No,
been
I
that
don't.
you guys answer.
Listen, the weight of this podcast rests on your shoulders. And I get it. It's a heavy weight.
what do you mean
But
we? answer the question?
everyone wants to hear your answer.
Yeah.
They send it in to you now. Okay, we can't take this question
It
and
used
answer
to be
for
for the
ourselves.
whole gang.
Yeah,
I don't-
but
I don't
things
remember- I don't-
changed,
I
Lil.
don't
We
even
evolve.
remember that. I don't remember that.
I don't remember
Well,
it
then you have
either.
a poor memory.
Apparently,
Watch it.
I do. I'm sorry, but this question is for you, Lily. Today's
Ugh.
question sent in by a viewer: should our troops protect the White House?
Yeah, I feel like yeah.
Oh,
Right? What?
Lily? Are you kidding me?
There are some people who would agree with you, but dang.
And see, this is why you get the question thrown at you every single week, so you can hopefully redeem yourself week after week, and you refuse to do it.
I'm not understanding.
Don't.
Should the
act
troops
ignorant.
protect the White House? And of course, referring to the time of segregation.
Oh. That
And the-
is
and-
very salacious, Joshua.
That you just made that word up. And I'm just disappointed about the way you answered it. And of course, we're referring to the time of segregation when they separated the whites, the blacks, Asians.
Yeah.
Did you just point at him?
He
Yeah,
is
I'm Asian. You think I'm ashamed of that?
No. I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that he's making you feel
Am I
uncomfortable.
supposed to take the identity of my white half?
Oh my gosh, no.
Lily?
You're worried about him being uncomfortable? What about the thousands, if not millions and billions of listeners that are listening right now that you're making uncomfortable by saying yes to that question?
I was going to
I
have you
didn't know what
babysit
you were
Noah
talking-
one
You
day,
want
but
our
not
military?
anymore.
You want our military to protect the racists?
No.
Yeah, protect the White House.
That's what you said.
Don't protect the Black House. No,
That's not what I
No.
said. I would never say that.
You did.
that's what you said.
That's
That's
one
what I
pretty
meant.
sure she said.
Mhm.
No.
Well, I feel sick.
Don't feel sick, dude. It happens every week.
I thought it
Please.
was soy. Turns out it was my wife
Yeah.
Wow.
and
In her
her
opinion.
racist attitude.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I'm so saddened. I don't even know if we can continue.
You can.
The podcast or?
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Welcome to the show.
Did I say ninja? I meant butterfly. The butterfly is no doubt one of God's most beautiful creations. I said empty your mind. You learn martial arts! Ninjas attack!
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and honestly, it's a good reminder that we're all carrying something.
Yeah, even when people like us look like they have it all together, most of us are still figuring things out as we go.
Exactly. There are always things keeping you up at night. Stress, relationship, works, uncertainty, and it's easy to feel like you have to solve everything on your own.
But nobody actually has all the answers alone.
Right. And therapy can be a place to talk through what's weighing on you and get support from someone who can help you see things more clearly.
BetterHelp makes that process easier.
They connect you with licensed therapists in the U.S. who follow a strict code of conduct, and they match you based on a short questionnaire so you can focus on your goals.
And if it's not the right fit,
You can switch anytime. BetterHelp has over 30,000 therapists and has helped more than 6 million people globally, people. Come on. With a 4.9 out of 5 average rating across more than 1.7 million reviews.
the big thing is just remembering you don't have to carry everything by yourself.
Exactly. Whatever season you're in, having somebody with you makes a difference.
You don't have to be on this journey alone. Find support and have someone with you in therapy.
Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/ninjas.
That's better, HELP.com/ninjas.
Thanks, BetterHelp.
Thanks.
I'm not so sad anymore.
You.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Who's to say?
I'm just confused at this point.
I'm scared and I'm confused.
Oh. Oh, man.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Got you again.
I really do. We should look back on the evolution of the question. Like, I think it was pretty early on,
Yeah.
but it still is interesting our thought process of like we're all answering it, and then we're just like,
Do you think it was a
guys-
thought process, or we just got tired?
It used
think
to be
there was-
much more clever. You guys would have to
Listen,
do. You guys
word.
would have to do like a play on words or something like that.
We're
Now
a-
you just basically give me an incomplete sentence.
All right, we'll be more creative in gaslighting you.
Oh, that's what you're asking for? More elaborate
I don't
gaslighting?
think you can. I don't think you got anything
Oh.
left in the tank.
Hey, Andrew, when you're editing, I want you to clip this for future reference so we can drop it in the pod. And you were like, when you're like, hey, it was too far, it was too elaborate. And then it's like, ha! You just poked the bear, dude.
Yeah, you did.
No. Joshua, another afternoon coffee?
Yeah, man, I got to do an interview at 8 o'clock.
Oh my gosh, your health.
Was she your mom, dude?
I don't even know.
What are you talking about?
Can't have caffeine. Come on, dude. Live your own life, bro.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Back off. Just kidding.
Just kidding. So instantly back down. So fast. What? That was like at a horror movie. You're just like, excuse me? Pardon me?
Oh my
Yo,
word.
guys, King Charles came to the White House. He came to D.C.
Dude, I thought I felt a little stink around here for a while.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. Just, Your Highness, visit us from across the pond.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Not my highness, dude.
Dude,
Everybody was tickled. Absolutely tickled.
I know. Did you see
he
that
was
clip?
making a lot of good jokes. A
Did you
lot
see
of
Yeah.
good jokes.
the clip where he was speaking to Senate and or House of Representatives, whatever they call it. I don't even know. But he's like,
There's Boy Scouts.
it said like Democrats say no kings, and then it's like also Democrats loves the king, and they're like all giddy, like just smiling at Charles. Is so funny. It's just different. They have a king.
I love his voice. I love the way that he talks. And the crown was perfect. A perfect impression
Yeah,
of him.
yeah.
Forgot about that show.
He's not a very good guy though. Like everyone's always like, oh, like it's like let's just forget everything he did.
Yeah.
He did some good stuff.
You know what?
Did you know on his wedding day?
Oh gosh.
Did you know this? On his wedding day, he wore cufflinks
From Camilla.
from Camilla, and
Yeah.
it had CC on them for
Uh-huh.
Charles and Camilla
Yeah.
Dirty
no
dog, dude.
way.
on his wedding day.
Dude, but an accent and acting sophisticated can get you a long way.
In a sense,
true.
Forgive a lot of sins.
in a sense, it's kind of sad though because they loved each other and they always wanted to be together, but it was forbidden.
I guess.
Yeah, but imagine if he did that.
because she was married though. I mean, it's
That's
like
crazy.
Yeah, which is awful.
yeah, it wasn't like just some like single woman. It was like she was married, had kids.
Yeah, be a man, move on.
Yeah, it's awful.
He also demanded from his mother, the queen, that he should have 4 butlers
Mummy,
at one time,
mummy.
constantly following him.
3's not enough, mother.
I want more.
3 butlers. That's last time I had 4.
Last time I had 4. Yes, but the third is much bigger than the last.
I don't care.
One of the comments on his speech was like, dang, this speech has me empathizing with Diana's ex. That's what it said. They referred to him as Diana's ex.
It's just I don't know. It's weird. Explain to me, because I don't know history. I'm a dummy. When he made a joke about how Trump said, you know, like if it weren't for us, you'd be speaking German right now. But then King George said, yes, but if it wasn't for us, you'd be all speaking French.
Yeah, he's talking about, I think, the War of 1812,
Okay.
when like, or maybe it was just before that, how France, maybe it was the French and Indian War he's referring to. Either way, France and England were fighting over the continental U.S.
Yeah.
before it became continental U.S. But then it's like, well, if it weren't for us, we'd all be speaking like this,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So get
I don't
out of
know.
here.
I know I'm not the only one that didn't get that joke. There had to have been some people that are like,
He also made a joke about how Trump was renovating the White House, and he's like, "We attempted to renovate the White House too in 1812, and that's when the British burnt down the White House."
yeah.
that was pretty funny.
good.
Yeah,
Our architecture definitely falls short compared to what they got over there.
Oh, yeah.
dude,
Which is like,
insanely.
it's got to be kind of crazy for him to come over here like being like in a peasant's
Oh
house.
wow, this is great,
Love what
Wow.
you've done with the place.
A concrete jungle.
beautiful.
My
Mm.
dreams are made of, I've heard.
Wow, good for you.
Jolly. Jolly good.
Speaking of Charles, though,
Yeah.
did you hear about this tweet? It's not that big of news, but this tweet of JetBlue, this person out with JetBlue.
Mm-mm.
This person tweeted, goes by the name Nugget since '94.
Oh gosh.
Said, I love flying at JetBlue, but a $230 increase on a ticket after one day is crazy. I'm just trying to make it to a funeral. JetBlue responded, but then deleted the post shortly after.
Yes, dude.
They
we
said,
no.
try clearing your cache and cookies or booking with an incognito window. We're sorry for your loss. Meaning, it is proven that
Yeah.
airlines do surveillance pricing.
Yeah.
It is
But
actually
we
real.
knew that. Yeah.
But it's like, but they're not like out there saying that we do surveillance pricing. It's like,
yeah,
you
for
just
sure.
have to find out. But they're like,
But-
yeah, well, try clearing your cache and your cookies.
But someone who's not tech savvy, they're no way they're understanding or even thinking that's a possibility. So they're just like, wow, this stinks. Every time I get back on, it keeps going up and up and up.
Well, it's just so untrustworthy because it's like that's not the actual value of this seat. It's you guys just being scammy and scummy.
Yeah.
Dude, if
Awful.
there was ever like a trip that you were going to take with a bunch of bros and there's one bro you don't want to go, you just get on his computer and start searching tickets.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, how are you guys all affording this?
I don't know, man.
I'm trying to buy those tickets to Montana. We're trying to buy them this week, but I keep going back because it's like, golly, it's so expensive, dude. Just
Yeah,
to
it is.
fly there. It's crazy.
Man.
So if anyone wants me to entertain them, just for fun, just to hang out, I'll you could just pay me and I'll just come and hang out and do whatever you need. Chores, ranch work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let me know. Happy to do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty miffed at Frontier because we're going to DC this month, and Frontier is like a ripoff, like a major ripoff. Did you guys know that?
I mean, it's an airline. I don't know what specifically are you talking about.
It's just they say they always like advertise as the cheapest seat ever when you Google it, and then it's like at the end of it, you've actually spent an extra $500 a seat on all the other
Like,
things.
oh, you want a
It's
seatbelt? That's a
accommodative.
$50 upcharge.
Yeah.
Do I need it?
wanted
Yeah,
to
you
sit
do.
next to the person you're traveling with.
Do you see that guy that was breaking down? He was like the CEO of like an airline, and he got in a lot of trouble because he was pitching out ideas, just like having people stand during the flight.
Yep.
Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like, it's going to be a cheaper ticket, much, much cheaper, but you have to stand. He says, I'm throwing it out there as an option. You don't have to do it, but it's like, if someone wants to take a round trip across the country for $50, then it's like, I'll stand maybe
That's
for that.
crazy, though.
It is kind of crazy at the world that we're living in, but I'm like, if I'm taking a solo trip,
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
probably doing that. I would do it.
I just can't believe how planes are currently structured and how you're licking the front seat of the person ahead of you and like zero conveniences, and it's stinky and the seats are garbage. And it's like, this used to be like a actually admirable thing to do, is to go on a plane. It used to be like,
Yeah, like getting drafted.
luxurious. Enough. Move on.
No,
I'm
but you're
done
right.
with
But like people like would literally dress up. It was like
Yes.
but I think it was just because it was a more like not everyone was doing it. So
novelty,
yeah, it was only
yeah.
it was a big thing. So now everyone can do it, and that's at the cost of it. So
Yeah, it's crazy.
but you think we'd have nicer planes, like bigger,
Yeah.
like more like thought out.
The thing is, though, I think for the people who are affording flying in that experience back then, I think flying for them is still on that level. We're just not in those seats.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, true. Yeah.
Well, now that we have the private jet, thank you.
I know.
Thank you, YouTube and Spotify, for
Yeah.
hooking us up with a private jet. It's so much nicer.
It's so much nicer.
Yeah, we don't have to be full of a tube full of demons, as Kenneth
Exactly.
Copeland would say.
Yeah, exactly. Praise be.
I do love flying though.
I hate it.
I'm flying. I'm taking like 4 flights by myself this month, and I can't wait. I love it. Love it, baby.
I love travel. I hate the flight. Like, if you could teleport and just delete that day,
Yeah.
I'd be fine to lose that.
Yeah. It's not so much. I don't like the flight all that much. It's the airport experience that I despise.
Yeah, and also the possibility of like, am I going to get out in time or something like that? Like that's the anxiety.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
When I flew back from Texas with meat thawing in a cooler,
Barf.
that was like the highest stress I've ever had on a flight.
Dude, I just saw somebody. It was peeking out their airplane window, and it was the guys loading up the luggage onto the airplane, and it was these like elk skulls, but they're covered in pool noodles. The skull was covered in pool noodles, and then the points were. But the guys were just like holding them up and like laughing at them. I'm like, that's obnoxious. That's crazy. Cool. Just imagine
It
that as a
costs-
carry on.
It would cost over $1,000 to ship.
Yeah.
To ship them out back.
Worth it.
So Lily showed me a TikTok last night, and she wanted me to talk about it because she didn't want to talk about it. So I looked into it.
Okay.
People are reporting that CERN
Hmm.
turned back on.
Mhm.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, throwback to episode 1.
3 days ago.
If you know, you know.
That's not entirely true.
Oh,
I looked it up, and
Boogers.
but this person's like, these scientists are reporting seeing entities like these portals. I'm like, this sounds crazy. Why are we not hearing
Yeah.
anything about this? Because we're really not. But I just found some really interesting things, especially when I looked it up on AI.
Mhm.
I typed in like, did CERN turn back on? And like, yes and no. It's like it runs basically all year, and they turn it off for like the winter months, and then turn it back on. So yeah, they turned it back on, but it's primarily running all year long.
So nothing abnormal about the schedule.
Yeah, but it mentioned one thing in it which we talked about, like I think the first episode maybe, or maybe in the first 20 episodes. It said there was this viral video years ago of a ritual outside of CERN. You remember
Oh,
this?
yeah.
Mhm.
That turned out to be a staged prank by employees, not a real experiment or event.
Yeah,
And it's like-
right.
That was the argument, though. It's like when they got caught, they're like, it was just a joke. We knew you guys were filming. It's like, no, you didn't.
No, that's like Bohemian Grove. All the presidents turning around like, guys, We got you.
Got you.
The practical jokers. No, that's crazy.
No, they're doing a ceremony in front of the god Shiva.
Yeah, big time. And they're
Spooky.
passing off as a joke. That's baloney.
But I thought this was crazy from the thing. It says there's a kernel of truth that gets stretched. Particle collisions create conditions similar to the early universe.
Wow.
Physics talks about things like quantum fields, extra dimensions in theory, virtual particles popping in and out of existence.
Come on.
That's a
And so I'm
portal.
like, yeah, sounds like a portal.
That's 100% a portal. That's the definition of portal.
Dude, and there's this one scientist that did talk about at one point, this was maybe a year or so ago, there's like, she saw, I think with others, like a ghostly apparition happening within the
I
tube
have goosebumps all over my body.
while it was happening.
It's probably the Pop-Tarts.
Like it looked like a figure.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Fun. I mean, scary, but fun. Like, that's
Crazy.
a crazy thing. Like, what are they really doing over there?
I wonder who it was.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Boy or girl?
I don't know. Maybe it was Shiva.
Spooky, dude.
Marilyn Monroe.
Maybe.
Hello, Mr. President.
That's scary stuff.
CERN is creepy to me.
Yeah.
I forgot their main purpose. Like, what is their actual, like,
Find the
odd
God
paper?
particle.
The God particle.
I think
That's
it's more than that. I think last time I said that, people were like, no, they do
So much more than that.
Yeah, well, I think it is that they're just trying to study, like what you said, like the early universe and see what.
yeah, like
What-
what is dark matter? What is, like, they're trying to find new particles to expand science and our understanding of things.
How is that someone's 9 to 5 job?
Oh,
That's
my-
crazy.
It's crazy.
Did you figure out the God particle today, honey? No.
No.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
What if they end up being successful and then they create a universe inside of our Earth? And
That's
then,
that's a true legitimate worry or fear that they could, because they don't necessarily know what they're doing because they're colliding particles,
Yeah.
right? That they could, in theory, create a black hole,
That
Very
we
good.
just get sucked into.
and that we would.
That seems like pretty instant.
I don't know.
We wouldn't feel it.
Maybe.
Maybe it has to grow, though.
We're just stretching.
Slowly.
Did you ever watch a movie High Life with
Oh,
Robert
Rob Pattinson?
Pattinson?
No, he's told me about it, though. You guys told me
Oh
about spaghetti.
my gosh, the worst feeling movie of your life.
Right up my alley.
Yeah. So just crazy things, man.
It's wild. It's a wild world we live in. And like when we were just like, our biggest problem was like surviving until past 30 and like the locomotive. And now it's like, let's figure out the God particle.
Let's do it.
Let's just create another universe.
It's interesting to me what scientists are like, oh, we got to figure this out right now before figuring other things out.
Yeah.
Why are we jumping to that when there's so many other, I feel like, more pressing things that we need to solve?
Well, yeah. Isn't that weird though? Of like a lot of the things that we need to figure out has to do with like space.
Yeah. Or like our ocean or like human health.
No, I'm saying like what
Oh.
they're like consumed with doing.
Oh,
Yeah, like
yeah.
what their
New
priority
discoveries.
is.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then the Bible talk about that, like quit looking up at the skies and stuff.
I don't know if it necessarily says that, but
All right.
Could be just my theory is that it's an easy grant to get that no one can actually like question your research. Like if you're doing stuff with tangible items,
I
it's
see.
like, yeah, we'll show us the plant from the bottom of the sea that you're studying. Show us what you've done. But if you're like theoretical physics from some particle that you have to have clearance to see, it's kind of like this. Well, I guess they're doing important research that's going to keep us ahead of China. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I think it'd just be having parties in space without us.
yeah.
And we would have no idea.
There is something to understanding the stars though, because there was that one watcher that was his thing that he taught was to understand the signs in the signs in the heavens, the stars, the moon, you know, like the charting out.
Yeah.
And it's like there's something to that.
For sure. It's not just like all
and
just
like
random.
every civilization, they aligned all their stuff with the stars, and like
Mhm.
everything was the stars.
Yeah, it's important.
That's weird. It's so weird.
What's super weird is that I watched that CERN video and then it said that they turned it back on the 27th of April, which you're saying that didn't actually happen. But all the comments are like, I haven't slept in 2 days. Why have I been mad for 2 whole days? Like this whole thing. And I was like, I've been mad for 2 whole days. You get
It's
this like
CERN.
group think kind of thing. You're like, it's got to be that.
Or just doom scrolling on TikTok and
It could be.
corroding your brain.
Yeah, I don't do that a lot. I do it at nighttime.
It's very hard to.
Right before you go to sleep. So why am I not sleeping good?
the worst part to actually doom scroll. Worst time.
Oh man.
So hard to discern what is real and what's not.
Oh, so good. Speaking of oceans being unexplored.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well,
Oh, she teed you up. She teed you up.
you're ruining my pacing.
Oh,
Golly.
Can I talk?
Why don't you talk about it?
I didn't look into it enough. I just saved it to show you.
Well, you brought it up, so you got to talk about it.
Oh,
What am I going to talk about? Because I don't even remember it.
What am I gonna do? Oh, so she was teeing you up to actually something real.
Yeah.
Got it. We'll tease it. You don't have to get into it right now.
We
I
talk
got a
about
story.
your island thing.
I got a story.
Islands work.
Islands work. Say, tee me up. Tee me up.
Speaking of oceans being unexplored and like stuff in oceans.
I got to tell you about an island.
Oh.
Now, this is a story about a good man who owns an island. We haven't heard a lot of good stories of good men
Let's
owning
redeem
good
islands.
islands.
We're redeeming islands.
We're bringing islands back. Okay, so this is a story. It's a tiny island off the coast of New York where one guy declared himself king.
Awesome.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. So this is tiny private island outside Long Island between New York and Connecticut, okay? Owned by a man named Dean Kamen, who also was the inventor of the Segway.
Wow.
Yeah, so this
Wow.
guy just creates a Segway.
Wait, he died.
I don't know if he died. Did he
The-
die? I mean, this
On
one
a Segway.
Did he really?
I'm dead serious.
Google that right now.
Andrew,
That's
can you Google
crazy.
that?
That's crazy. But this guy became uber rich, became super successful, but sick and tired of electric companies, government control, all of this stuff. So he found a little tiny island between New York and Connecticut, right off of Long Island, and he says, I want this to be my home. He died.
Jimmy, however you say that, Heselden, the British millionaire owner of Segway. Is that who you're talking about?
No, the guy that invented it. So maybe the CEO probably died.
Okay.
Not the inventor. He's too smart for that.
But yeah, he fell off a 30-foot cliff while riding the rugged country model of the Segway.
Oh
That's
my
crazy.
gosh.
I mean, what a way to go.
30
but
feet kills you?
That's not that tall.
Oh, but you said it was a
That's
rugged
3
cliff.
stories.
that's 3 stories. That's
Yeah.
still, you land wrong, you're gone, dude.
He's also old. So, like,
Yeah.
That'll
I
do
think
it.
about a 5-foot cliff would take him out too.
Enough of that. Enough.
Staircase, tiny staircase. All right. So this guy buys this island and just completely turns it into his own country. He declared it the Kingdom of North Dumpling.
That's
Is that not great?
amazing.
It's the perfect name. He declared himself the king. He created his own flag, his own constitution, established laws and everything, and even named himself the ruler. He had a treaty with the president at the time, George H.W. Bush.
That's so awesome.
George H.W. Bush visited this island of Kingdom of North Dumpling, came to the island. He gave him a tour. George absolutely loved it. They shook hands, and he said that the U.S. would not invade, and he would remain completely independent.
Wow.
They had a handshake agreement treaty right then and there that he's on his own. The USA has nothing to do with it. He's off the main power grid, has his own independent energy system, and even its own lighthouse. And the dude is just
It's still
thriving.
Current?
Current, dude. Everyone knows about it in that area, but I'm like, I've never heard of this.
Can I see if their flag?
Oh, yeah, I'll look it
Oh
up.
my gosh, I would love to make my own flag.
We should make our own flag.
So he's completely independent. So he can't. That's crazy.
Is that wild?
How do you
that
just do that?
I don't know, man. That would just be so fun.
That's nuts.
You would have to find this. Was the island under American? Was it an American island or nobody owned it?
That I don't know.
Yeah, I guess how would that work? Because it's American land, right?
Yeah.
Can we just conquer islands?
That's the flag right there. Not that great.
Sick. I like it.
But I
kinda
mean,
cool.
you know, it's fine.
Looks a little cultish.
Yeah, it definitely
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
That's the vibe.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of fun.
I think it's awesome. Like that's literally is
North Dumpling. Oh, so it's tiny.
Oh, it's very tiny, but it's his.
Yeah.
So fun.
That's pretty cool.
It's
that's
not much,
that's
but
like,
it's home.
That's like where you can pay like the $50 and you become a lord in Scotland.
Yeah, I love that.
Except this guy is like, I'm gonna buy an island and become king.
Oh man, I should have looked up the Constitution.
Didn't
'Cause I would've
Johnny Depp buy an entire island with his pirates' money in the
Oh, I
Caribbean?
don't know.
I'm gonna
That's
look that up.
awesome.
Did you hear what Disney's doing though?
No.
They issued a formal apology to Johnny Depp, and they are offering him like $290 million to come back and play in Pirates
That's amazing.
because he said, "I'll never do Pirates unless Disney apologizes and pays me $300 million."
290.
I know.
That's a little insulting.
I know. It's like I would say no.
Yeah,
do
make
10
it-
more.
That's like almost a statement.
I know, isn't it?
What's $10 million to you, Disney?
That's
you make
what
that
I'm
in a day.
saying.
That's crazy.
Dude, they'd make it back with
Dude,
Johnny Depp and Pirates.
The store,
dude, internationally would be insane.
the
Yeah.
store that I used to work at in Epcot would do $500,000 on a Saturday. $500,000 in one Saturday.
Yeah,
It's
they'd make it
bonkers. It's bonkers.
Bro, he bought Little Hall's Pond Cay, a 45-acre private island in the Bahamas in 2004. How much do you think? I mean, this look at this place. Like, this is crazy. This looks epic.
Yeah.
45-acre Bahamas. Throw a number.
I'll say 2 million.
Oh, that's like a steal.
I know, but I just think in 2004, I'm thinking like
Okay.
if it's remote, I don't know. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know.
$50.
3.6 million.
3.6
good.
For 45 private acres, your
In the
own
Bahamas?
island.
Yeah,
in
you
the
can't.
Bahamas.
45.
With a-
You can't get 45 acres in Florida for that price.
There's like a
No.
mansion on it too.
That's crazy.
Dang.
It's just getting there, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
We could buy that.
Yeah, dude, let's do it. I'll write the check right now.
They'll do our private plane
Yeah.
to our own island.
Yeah.
I'm sending this to you guys.
The cabinet members of North Dumpling
Yeah.
include a minister of brunch who wrote the national anthem, ministers of ice cream, Ben and Jerry, and a sturgeon general, and a minister of nepotism. This guy's it's literally just like a joke constitution that he made.
That's pretty awesome.
That's great.
Why did you send us this?
To buy.
What did you
Oh.
send us this?
Why did you send us this?
To buy.
What is this?
Oh, 21 million? Come on. That's
Guys,
easy.
we're going to have a GoFundMe in the description. Please donate so we can have a private island.
This one already has a house on it.
I would never do anything but fish.
Speaking of oceans.
Could we all live together?
Yeah, we could.
How crazy do you
I think
think?
that'd be
How long-
great.
How long do you think it would take us for us to go crazy?
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Not me.
No way. Are you guys kidding me? If we had food delivered and all, oh my gosh. It would be the best thing ever. And when we need space, it'd just be like, go to your house. Stop bugging me.
I thought it was one house.
We would not live in the same house.
That's
That
what-
would
that's
be
what-
crazy.
That's what I was.
Why?
Oh, no. We would build separate houses.
Why?
No.
Let's live like build a house like the size of this room. All live in there.
We're
Let-
not doing that.
Let me and Josh have our own house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it sounds like about right. Me and Kelsey can have our own house.
I'll just live in the swamp.
Speaking of ocean,
Yeah?
I have a story about the most mysterious whale in existence.
This is a joke at me. I'm going to kill you.
It's not a joke. I'm
Okay.
going to tell you after this. Don't go anywhere.
Wow, that went by fast. That was a good first half.
Yeah.
A lot of good stories.
Don't you ever set me up like that.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, summer's right around the corner. You got plenty of activities and events that are coming up, and you need shirts. Shirts, I said. Go to SundayCool.com, order custom tees for you or your group today. Whether it's a summer camp, whether it's VBS, whether it's the old family get-together, you need shirts, stickers, hats. We do them all custom in-house right here.
And you know what's good for summer on t-shirts? Our new awesome water reveal ink. That's right, baby. Summer camps, water balloon fights, baptisms, going surfing, baby. Water reveal inks. It's like magic on your shirt. It's the coolest thing ever.
Where do they go, Andrew?
SundayCool.com.
Where do they go, Lily?
SundayCool.com.
Where do they go?
SundayCool.com.
When is your most important game?
Next Saturday.
Not this Saturday?
No, this Saturday is playoffs. If we win, we go to the championship.
Okay, we have to go to this Saturday, though, too.
We make it to the championship. It'll be.
Oh, my gosh.
That's so lame how
paint
they.
ourselves purple.
That's so lame how they do it though, because they have to win in the playoffs to go to the championship, even though they've won almost every single game except one.
Oh, that would be so weird if they didn't let you go.
Which it makes sense. Like bracket wise, you have to play in a bracket. That's like every sport. But we're 6-1. We've got a loss under our belt.
It needs to be
It was a-
point system.
Yeah. And we're crushing it.
So,
We're crushing it.
What's the score on aggregate?
what's an aggregate?
What the aggregate?
What'd you call me?
Remember when Angel was,
me?
I ain't
no aggregate.
remember when Angel said, what the heck a Velcro?
Yeah.
What?
I said, hey, can you grab the Velcro? We had like a roll of Velcro. I said, what the heck a Velcro? And I'm like, hold on. You don't know what Velcro is? He said, no, Pa. I said, you know what Velcro is. He said,
You've been around Velcro.
he said, Pa, I don't know what Velcro is. I said, like, when you were a kid, you didn't have like Velcro shoes. He's like, no, I don't know what that is.
That's crazy.
He
Crazy.
didn't know what Velcro was.
That's wild.
But he called it Velcro.
What the
Velcro.
heck a
Isn't he a-
Velcro?
I've never been to Uva Java. That's literally its version.
Wasn't he a pro boxer
Yeah.
that for sure velcroed his glove shut?
I mean, they tie in pro.
Even in trainers though?
I mean, I don't know. I
Because
mean,
the wraps,
depends on
the
where
wrap-
depends on where you're from. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
Velcro seems very like American, like
He did boxing
Cheap
for a
stuff.
long time. Got hit in the head a lot.
so
He didn't
just
even
forget
remember his own.
Velcro.
He didn't even remember his own birthday.
That's crazy.
And we
That's so
always
funny.
asked him like, "How old are you?" And he's like, "I don't know, Pa. Like
I know
28."
he never just
Like
told me his real
28.
age. He was like, it was a mystery. It's like, show me your ID, bro.
So funny. Speaking of so funny, did you know it's question corner
with Lily. When the questions are fresh on our mind.
Again, it's like I forget what part of the day it is. Okay.
190 episodes.
This is, you guys are going to be like, "Pfft," but I thought it was a fun question to
Mhm.
think about. What is your dream street or like shopping center? You fill it with 5 of your favorite stores.
Yeah.
Just to have easy access to. I'll go first.
I've played a very similar game. This one, this is it could be a mixture. If you could only live with 3 or 5 stores for the rest of your life, like everything you ever buy or get
Yes.
are from these 5 stores.
I don't like that as much, but
Okay.
I
That
will.
one's, I like that one better.
That's bigger stakes
Yeah.
because you could just drive another street and go to another store.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you have this in walking distance, and then you never really have to leave your private island in the Bahamas.
So basically, it's exactly what I said.
But you could leave,
Why? Why
but
do
you
we
don't have to.
I like his better.
I'm gonna go first. I said Whole Foods because Trader Joe's is too limited. You
Okay.
shook her head.
Money
What is yours,
bags
Walmart?
over
Walmart?
here.
Not a big fan of Whole Foods.
Whole Foods?
You still have to pay for it.
Yeah, but it's the best. Have you been to Whole Foods?
Yes, I've been to Whole Foods.
TJ Maxx, Hippo, Pops.
That's a big gamble. You're cashing on one of the 5 is just a popsicle place.
Yeah,
it
that's
brings
crazy.
me a lot of joy, Andy.
Okay. All right. All right.
The Goblin Market.
Okay.
Barnes and Noble.
Okay. So, what do you like when you need stuff like around the house and stuff?
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods? Like, I mean, like just like decorations and stuff, or like decor,
I can make
or
it.
like, okay,
Well, TJ Maxx has a ton of decor. Have you been to
Okay.
TJ Maxx?
not recently, no.
You been on DJ Maxx? Have you ever been in there? Idiot.
It's
And
okay.
also, I'm not playing your game. This isn't like my only. I'm not limited to this for the rest of my life.
Okay.
It's just convenience.
All right. Okay, that changes the whole game then.
Go ahead.
I'm choosing a Bass Pro.
Yep.
A Bass Pro.
Yep. Yes, sir.
You guys are such boys.
It's just outdoor living. It's just
This is
fun.
what it is, babe.
They've got food, they've got snacks, they've got cookware, they've got clothing, they've got
Couches,
couches, they've got literally everything you need,
boats.
and live animals.
Oh, dang. I should have said Costco.
Too bad.
Too bad, too late. Costco, Bass Pro, Costco. Man, what else would I do? I'm thinking one food spot that I would have right there. It would probably be like, H Mart.
Ooh.
H Mart.
Good choice.
Because you get food and then you get groceries. Oh my goodness.
You already got a Costco. You're doubling
You got
up.
like a ton of groceries.
Yeah, so now I can have fun. Then a Chuck E. Cheese. Because I could play arcade games. And then...
Wait, you're serious?
Yeah, why not?
Why not Dave and Buster's?
Yeah,
David
like a grown up.
David
Like a
Buster's.
grown up,
Dave and
dude.
Buster's. I don't know why. I was feeling nostalgic. I would do Dave and Buster's. That would be so much fun. And then the last one, I don't know. That would be...
Oh,
I've got
a movie
food covered.
theater.
I
Movie
need...
theater.
Could you do a movie theater?
Yeah, I say yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, at IMAX.
Yeah.
An IMAX. Thanks, Lil.
You're welcome.
Mine's pretty similar to yours.
Yeah. What
But
would you
it's
change
Home
out?
Depot,
Yeah.
Costco, movie theater. I think Bass Pro.
Bass Pro would
It
be
has
dope.
it has to be on the
And
list.
then
Think of a good restaurant.
Yeah, like what would be fun? Like a hibachi grill.
So are these like restaurants you still have to like pay for everything. Like,
Yeah.
This is just
Yeah,
honestly,
convenience.
just the taco truck.
Tacos Chapas.
Yeah.
Very good.
Did you guys see I posted on Taveri's Word of Mouth trying to find out about Tacos Chapas?
They're gone.
Yeah, what happened to them? What if they never existed?
Someone told me I brought it up later, and someone told me it's because Big Dog Saloon is trying to become hip and trendy.
Dumb.
Oh,
You
boo.
ruin it by removing the best taco stand in Central Florida.
But also lean into the dive bar gimmick. No
Yeah.
one's going there for $20 cocktails. Big Dog Saloon
Do
in
better.
Eustis.
Okay.
And also go like work with them. If you order from tacos, then
Yeah.
guess what? You get a discount at Big Dog. Say vice versa. You know,
Yes.
like why not?
And I don't even know if that's true.
Down with Big Dog. All right, what would you do, Andrew?
Kahuku Souprette in the North Shore of Hawaii for poke.
Ooh.
Muha muha.
Yeah. No, that place
3 out of 5 stars for me.
because I'm thinking where can I get like stuff that like food that I just think about all the time. I can't go to Hawaii and get that. If that could be close. They ran out of a particular flavor that I wanted. And I was like, oh, you guys are out. And said, hold on. And literally pulled a fish out the back. And I watched a dude just cut it up. The eyes weren't even like glossed over. Like that thing came straight off the water.
Yummy.
So shout out them. Funko Poke would be sick because I eat there a lot.
Two poke restaurants?
Yeah. Well,
Out of your five?
Kahuku Souprette's got like everything. They got like
Oh,
a
okay.
ton of Asian food.
Okay.
A Bass Pro. I mean, a Walmart just because I'm sure I'm not thinking of something and Walmart probably has it.
Not Target.
No. And then
Walmart over Target every day.
Yeah.
Dude.
I don't know. I don't go anywhere. That's it.
Are you serious? Pick one more, dude.
Hardware store.
Somewhere fun.
A hardware store, I guess.
What do you do for fun?
I mean, everything from, I guess I could pick like a,
Do a Cabela's and a Bass Pro.
yeah, I mean, like literally all my stuff. A guitar store, I guess, like a Guitar Center.
Think of something for Paige. Nail salon.
No.
No.
This is
history.
separate.
History. She can get her own street.
I'm Asian, so I got that covered.
Yeah.
Could you imagine having like ultimate, like unlimited? You get a pick and you just like you get to spend as much money as you want at any place
Sick.
and it's free.
Mine would be
Like-
Home Depot.
Like Costco and Home Depot and Bass Pro, made for life. Made for life, dude.
I would literally imagine that as a kid, like walking in Home Depot. I'm like, if they just said for one day you can take as much as you want,
Mhm.
I'd be like, that would be so cool.
In Home
Yeah.
Depot, as a kid, you said that?
Yeah, man.
What were you making when you were a kid?
Forts,
I made
stuff,
ramps.
ramps. I made
Mhm.
half pipes.
Wow.
Dude, do you guys follow Potek on Instagram?
No.
Dude, he built a dirt jump track. Like he runs dirt bikes, but now he's doing like BMX at the house. Like that's freaking sick.
That's
so
rad.
cool. When
Yeah.
we would walk through Home Depot when we were kids, me and my brothers and sisters, we would always go because they would always go walk every aisle. So we just follow our parents, and then we'd always pick one thing. For like if we're building our house, you can only pick one washer and dryer, one light, one everything.
Oh,
you
fun.
have to like look at all of them and just pick one. That was so fun. I don't know why that was so fun as a kid.
I don't know, but just focus on that good memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start crying.
Here's with that song. Beat.
Oh, and he's back.
Andrew's got a reel
And he's gonna show up
right now.
Let's go.
What?
Let's go.
Andrew's got a reel.
right now.
Right now.
I hate this.
I think it's so funny.
That's little Josh.
It's little me.
That's my daughter.
Imagine you have a little boy. It looks just like Josh, like
It's
that.
confusing my brain so much.
Keep your phones down.
Phone down.
All right, are you ready? You have to watch at least 30 seconds of this.
We're watching on your phone?
No. I'm gonna.
Oh.
But as soon as you see it, you'll know. So
You gotta create
no
thumbnails,
audio.
bro.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, okay.
This was. I didn't trim it up. This was sent to me, and I just don't like. I don't know how this exists. How it gets this bad.
Is that a human foot?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. What kind
What's
of
going on?
disease or disorder is this? Dude, that's the Leshy, bro.
Why do you have this?
Is that like diabetes or something?
I don't know.
What are you laughing about? I'm serious.
Oh, that's rough.
Okay.
Holy moly.
Yeah, I'm good.
Poor guy.
I think it was a lady.
How do you know? You that good at feet?
Yeah. I am.
That's a lady's foot.
That's the lady's foot I've ever seen one.
I didn't have a reel.
That was awful.
Yep.
That gets a -5 out of 10. That's somehow gonna make its way into my dreams tonight.
I know, yeah.
Well, what made me think about it was you wearing slippery lotion socks. So
Oh my gosh, I hated that. Blech.
Tell people.
Where
They
the
don't know what you're
socks,
talking about.
Where the
you
socks,
talked
dude?
about
It was on the
last
pod.
didn't you? Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of slippery lotion socks.
Yeah. Yeah.
The most mysterious whale
Yes. Yes.
never discovered.
Yes.
Also called the loneliest whale.
Oh.
This whale,
That was good.
what they presume is a whale, because they actually don't know. And that's the caveat.
All right.
It's called the 52 Hertz whale. It's one of the most fascinating and mysterious in marine biology. It's called the loneliest whale in the world. But so the deal is, blue whales, typically their hertz that they produce when they're doing their singing and stuff is anywhere between 10 and 39 hertz. Fin whales, which also do the whole singing and all that stuff, go up to 20 hertz. This whale is at 52 hertz. And they've never been able to get a visual of it.
Yeah.
But they've been listening to it since when? Dude, I'm so mad I didn't write down the date. It was like in the 80s or 90s.
Okay.
Maybe even the 70s. It was like they were doing military work in the ocean, doing like sonar, scanning the ocean floor and stuff like that. And they picked up on what sounded like a whale, but registering at 52 hertz. And at 52 hertz, nothing can hear it.
Yeah.
So nothing can respond to it either. And so they're like, what is this thing? And so they assume that maybe it's a hybrid whale, maybe a mix between a blue whale and a fin whale, which they apparently can interbreed, which
Okay.
is fascinating.
Yeah. That'd be crazy. Making new
A
whales.
deformity or a mutation of a whale that's like its vocal cords are messed up, or a juvenile or unknown species of whale that they've just never been able to pinpoint.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is that they've tracked it for decades in the Pacific and they've never been able to find it. But the migration patterns follow the whale's migration patterns.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, there's no proof of it except for the 52 hertz audio that they've recorded from the ocean. And it's just like deep, dark ocean where they're just getting this very high pitched whale noise.
Yeah.
So what is it?
We'll never know.
I don't know.
Oh, whale.
What if it's like an alien ship though?
What if it's
Or a
Leviathan?
megalodon.
Or a megalodon.
Or the Leviathan.
Or the Leviathan.
Could be anything, dude.
We'll never know.
You know what? With that information, let's go to the moon. That's the thing.
Yeah, for real.
Like, we don't know what that is, but yet we're like, nah, let's go to the moon.
It's all right. Let's go to the moon for the 50th time.
Let's not even go to the moon. Let's go around it. Let's just go around it.
Let's just go around and come back home.
If they're just trying to get press, though, for real, the moon is such a weird, like, buzzy topic. Imagine if they were like, I think we can actually get a photo of a megalodon. Like, I think there's one that big out there. It'd be everywhere. Like, if you're trying to get press, just find a really big shark.
There's just something, but it's also weird how NASA started. It was kind of like part of it was ocean exploration.
Yeah.
And they've kind of stopped doing that.
Because they say there's nothing, like we know there's really nothing. Like it's the same stuff over and over, but we don't know that.
We don't know that.
We don't know
That's just what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Or did they know that AI was popping out and they're like, the footage we get down there is so bad, we don't know if it'll actually be passable as true.
True.
Because I saw a video supposedly real of a squid that they found, and that thing like shifted, and I was like, I genuinely can't tell. It would have been a real, but I was like, high chance this is AI, but I have no way of knowing.
Yeah. It's weird stuff, man. I was watching the Danny Jones podcast with Bart and the Apollo astronaut. I forget his name. But I was talking to Lily, like the Apollo astronaut, I'm only like an hour into it or something.
Right.
But I'm like, if you went to the moon, wouldn't you be like, I remember every detail about it because you're walking on the moon?
I disagreed with Josh on his.
And she
sentiment.
disagreed.
I'm trying to
That's the biggest moment of your life.
But I'm also trying to go back
60 years ago.
You don't journal about it?
60 years ago? Andy, what did you have for breakfast yesterday?
Don't question him about food. He knows exactly what he eats every single day.
I didn't eat.
No, but like if I can see both arguments. Like if the thing you encountered was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, you'd remember it. Like specific details would be like locked in there. Like I remember Paige's face walking down the aisle to me. I remember her smile specifically. She had like a giddy, excited moment. I'm like, that's locked. But I can't tell you what anyone down the sides of the aisles look like.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I hold a detail, but I don't remember the environment I was in.
But you went to the moon.
You went to the moon.
You walked on the moon. You're comparing it to breakfast.
Who knows? This guy could be like senile or something.
That's very rude. He's an Apollo astronaut.
Wow.
You should take that back.
But you're telling me you haven't had a million interviews about this one specific thing. You're at least recalling and you're talking about it constantly.
So it's rude for me to suggest that he might have forgotten about it, but it's not rude for you guys to suggest that he's a liar.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's
He
your
did
next
say
point?
one thing, though, that I'm just like, that's wild. I've never heard this before. He's saying when we got on the capsule to take off from the moon, also before that, he's like, yeah, when we landed, we had to unload the car and let's lift. I'm like, what do you mean? Like how?
Yeah.
Because I know that they drove around on the moon, but again, that doesn't make sense to me. And then I guess Bart is going to tell us all about this.
Yeah.
But like a battery in the 60s, in the most extreme coldness and heat environments, he said the first drive was 1 mile. And then the second drive was over 8 miles there and back. I'm like, this just seems crazy. But he's saying when he took off from this capsule, he's like, yeah, we had to dump our bags and then dump our trash out of the capsule. DeAndre was like, so you left trash on the moon? And he's like, yeah.
Hey,
I'm like,
give a hoot. Don't pollute.
I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
We gotta go places and just litter.
I mean, this is the era where they were blowing up islands in the Pacific just to have
true.
fun making sure bombs
In the
still blew.
atmosphere too.
Oh,
They're just
yeah.
like shooting
Nuclears.
nukes in the sky.
And we had energy cars back then. We know we did. So it's like, who knows what like kind of technology that they had, back.
The car thing doesn't trip me out because batteries have been batteries for a long time. Like
But
they
in extreme environments though. We're talking like 200 degrees Fahrenheit in the sun and like negative whatever 100 degrees in the shade.
I'm just being like, I'm playing devil's advocate now, but if they were able to insulate it enough, you got to remember that like gravity is nothing. So it's not like actually moving a car. Like it
True.
didn't take nearly the energy to move it along.
1/6 gravity.
But packing
Is that really,
that into a
really
ship,
what it is? I don't know.
But packing that into the ship, pulling it down, bringing it back up.
It's wild.
I mean, that's crazy.
It's
I mean, that's a ballsy move if you're doing that. Like that's a really
Can we say
crazy thing to do.
That's a crazy move.
Yeah.
Also, a crazy thing that I never even thought about. Danny Jones asked him, he's like, could you see the Earth from the moon? He's like, yeah. He's like, but it was above our heads.
What? No, it's not. It's not.
Wherever he was on the moon.
Are you calling him a liar?
So like if you're looking at the moon, right? He was like, if this is Earth, he was like right there.
No.
So he said you'd have to like hold on
Yeah,
to
that
the
makes
craft
sense.
and lean back to see the Earth.
That's crazy.
I'm like, that trips somehow that like freaks me out
That's
more.
scary.
It's
yeah.
not true.
What do you mean it's not true?
That's like us standing and
Yeah,
looking
if
up at the moon.
If the
in
moon
front-
was up above us, we would have to look up at the moon. It's the same concept if they were on the moon looking at the Earth.
yeah.
Why would they? But where the moon sits, you should not have to. You should look down to look at the Earth.
Depends on what part of the moon you're on. If the moon's above us, you're looking up at the moon, and it's vice. If you went straight up and went to the moon, you'd be looking down.
Correct. You said you looked up.
No, you'd be looking
Well,
up.
I mean, well, that's what I mean. If you're flipping your body upside
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
like you have to flip, and you'd be yes,
No.
yes.
So wait, they landed on the moon.
I was just like
upside
imagining like
down?
heaven where you're just like standing on the edge looking down at Earth.
Don't laugh at me. You didn't think of this either.
I know, but it's just a crazy concept of like looking up at the Earth.
I don't think that he remembers that process. There's no way.
So you're saying you're on our side now? Then you might be lying.
looking up at the Earth?
I don't think
Never
that's
have
not.
I ever.
You're looking up at the moon.
I'm looking at the moon because the moon is above me,
Okay,
guy.
okay. Listen. So you're standing up. The moon's above you. If I took you on Earth, flipped you upside down, and shot you to the moon, your feet would land first on the moon, right?
Yeah.
And so guess what?
I see.
Yeah. Whoa. The
No,
Earth.
not up like this, like this.
No, it would be up. Just like you're standing on the Earth looking at the moon.
You invert it.
What are you talking about? Nothing changes. It's just the opposite.
Oh my word. That's gonna trip me up for a while.
Yeah.
That's so funny. It would literally look. This is the Earth. You're standing. This is the moon. Circular. You'd be standing, and your head would be down here,
I
looking
see,
that way.
I see.
Mountain. This segment is brought to you by Down Mountain Dew.
So yeah, that's all I got about
So
the moon.
funny.
That's crazy.
And the water. I got a story about the water.
Ooh.
Very creepy story about the water.
This is a very aquatic episode.
Yes.
Under the sea.
Okay. So imagine you're in the Arctic. Okay. Freezing cold. Icy.
What type of people live in the Arctic?
Oh,
Easy.
Inuit.
Yes. This is an Inuit story. Okay. So imagine
scary, Inuit.
Arctic Canada, Greenland. You're in the Arctic. It's freezing cold, right? You live in a village, an Inuit village, and there's this little boy who has a dog. That dog goes in with him everywhere that dog goes in with him. I don't know where that came from. That dog. Get up at that dog. This dog goes everywhere with this little boy, right?
Uh-huh.
They go on adventures, they walk around, but the parents are always very clear. The people in the village are always very clear. Do not go on the thin ice. Do not go to the edge of the water, right? It's very simple. You don't want to fall in. You don't want to drown. This little boy is out on an adventure with his dog, and they're walking around, and suddenly he hears a tap.
Oh gosh.
And he's looking around, and there's no one around. It's just him and this dog, and the dog's, all excited, and he keeps walking, and he hears another tap. And so he decides to start following this tapping noise, trying to figure out where it's from, because he knows what the sound of ice breaking is. He knows the wind, the sound of the wind. It's very weird, the sound he's hearing. And he keeps following this sound of this tap, and it's coming up toward the edge of the water. The boy gets closer and closer, and the tapping gets louder and louder. It sounds like someone is tapping from underneath the ice. And so he gets to the edge of the water because he thinks there might be somebody under there. So he looks over, and then suddenly a long, scaly, slimy hand grabs his ankle, pulls him into the water. The dog starts panicking, barking like crazy, trying to grab at him. He tries to grab at the dog. The kid goes underwater. The dog runs back to the village, starts barking like crazy. They realize the kid's not with them. They're always together. This doesn't happen. So they follow this dog. The dog's barking up a whole storm, going absolutely nuts. And he takes them to the edge of the water, and he's literally looking at the water, barking, looking at them, looking at the water, barking louder and louder and louder. And they realize that this may have been a visit from what they call the Qallupilluit, which is a humanoid aquatic creature that has been passed down through hundreds and hundreds of years in the Inuit and indigenous culture all over. Greenland, Arctic Canada, I don't know how you pronounce it, but none of it.
Yeah.
None of it. All throughout this culture. And it's been passed down through generations and generations. And it is this Qallupilluit. Yes. Qallupilluit. I can't even memorize it. Qallupilluit. It lives under the ice.
You've never seen that word in your life, Josh. You're guessing.
No, he's nailing it. Qallupilluit.
Yeah, why don't you back off?
Say something nice.
No, because you're being mean.
All right.
This creature lives under the ice near shorelines in dark, shallow coastal waters. It is known by everyone. And they always thought it was one of those things where parents make it up, to scare children,
kids,
to get them away from the shoreline. But over and over and over again, tribes that had nothing to do with each other, villages who had no connection whatsoever, never talked to one another. People would come and they'd find this. There's an explorer from the UK that apparently it talked about a mermaid type of creature, one of the siren type of creatures. But the more he described it, it sounded more and more like this creature. This creature has green, grayish skin, wet, slicky, long, tangled hair, long fingers / claws. I'm going to send you pictures once again.
Sounds a lot like Josh.
This is pictures of...
Why don't you say something nice?
These are pictures that have been drawn by people who have either seen it or grew up in villages. This creature, the Qallupilluit, has even one of those parkas with the hoods where they would carry their babies in. And so the legend has it is that it was a cursed person who sacrificed one of her kids and got pulled underwater and now has to live eternally
Oh gosh.
under the sea. Ariel. But oh dang it, let me see. I'm gonna try to.
That is so.
There's another
scary
image that
looking.
someone. It looks like a photo, but I don't know if it's been doctored or something. But it's
Ouch.
Looks grudgy.
Yeah.
very grudgy, right? Let's see here. Oh dang, did I not get it?
Is it grudge or grunge?
Grudge.
Talking about the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, grudge.
the grudge.
Yeah, like she has a grudge.
I got it. I just didn't know if it was grudge or grunge. What's your deal?
That's like the point of the movie. She has a grudge.
Oh dang it, I forgot. It's on my computer. But it's a very, very creepy picture. But this thing literally, apparently it's known as the monster below who never blinks because it's constantly watching and it only preys on little children. This is a very scary story for little children, so I'm sorry, but it's one of those things, and apparently it feeds off their youth, so she can never age. And so while you're getting older, she's getting younger. Hollow, glowing eyes that never blink, sometimes described as decaying or unnatural looking.
Ugh.
Always stays under the water, observing children near the edge, children alone or kids wandering too close, and apparently can even have this weird, you hear a weird hum, like ethereal hum. That's
Very mermaid-like.
something very siren-y, right?
Yeah.
It's very, very strange, but apparently just calls out names, creates curiosity. It's like almost in the wind, But that's the weird thing about this creature, because it's not like around you like the Leshy or the Bigfoot in the woods. It's not above you like UFOs or aliens. It's something below.
It's just lurking.
Which is something that's like when you're out there literally on thick, feet and feet of ice, there's something below you.
Yeah.
I mean, the people who are afraid of water, it's like, this is the worst story. It's like, this is the worst creature you could think of. So there's some traditions that say that it either raises them, eats them, or keeps them alive. And there's a story that goes back to the last part of keeping them, because this is a big, big time legend where a grandmother had her grandson. They lived by themselves in a village and they could not hunt. It was very, very bad winter. And so they were starving. And so she prayed, and the answer that she got from doing whatever was basically sacrificing her grandson so that they could eat.
Clarify, not praying to God.
No, whatever she had. You know? And so she goes and takes her grandson. The creature takes him, and then when nothing ever happened, no food was ever given. But when the hunters could actually go and start hunting, a couple in that village heard about this and said, "We have to do something." And so there were people that were able to look and see, and apparently the kid was tied up against some type of structure down there, and it was like preserved, right? It's so cold, you don't know, like it, but they're like, we just at least have to get this body back. And so they waited, and apparently they saw her swimming around, and it's very, very creepy. And then they waited till sunrise. Somebody dove in with a knife, cut him loose, brought him back up, and a day later, he's alive.
What?
Yeah. Crazy. Absolutely wild. But there's been children's books written about this. There's been like old, poems and stuff, and like just history things. And one of the things that was written, very scary. Human child, ours to have, ours to hold. Forget your mother, forget your brother. Ours to hold under the ice forever.
Oh my gosh.
That was a children's book.
Well, can I tell you something?
Is that not crazy?
I read the book Hunt, Gather, Parent, and she visits all these different communities to see how they parent their children.
Mm-hmm.
And she visits an Inuit family and lives with them for like a week with her daughter. And one of the things they say to keep their children in order is that they tell them scary stories so that they won't go near the water. And I wonder if this is that, like they fabricated a scary story so that their kids would not. Because you think, and she was like, so what you should do, and that's when I started telling Jane that if I didn't wash her hair, that spiders would grow in her hair.
Yeah.
I don't know if child psychologists back up that idea that you should tell your kids scary stories to get them to obey, but it does work, and they've been doing it for centuries.
Yeah,
it's true.
This very much could be it. But there's been polar bears that have been found tore up near edges of water, like not even eaten or anything, but literally just attacked, their heads just almost ripped off, laying down in the water.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, what animal is doing that to a polar bear?
Oh my gosh.
Maybe
right?
another polar bear, but
possibly.
I don't know.
But that's the thing. That's what makes this really scary, is that this thing isn't like a monster or a creature that's out waiting for you, or like chasing you down. This thing is waiting for you.
Yeah.
And that's what really kind of stuck out to me on this one. It's like, that's scary.
Don't you think there's some validity to, there has to be, to sea monsters?
Oh yeah.
Just like all these early explorers, like for hundreds and hundreds of years, they always drew on their maps and talked about these sea creatures and like certain parts of the world that you shouldn't go to because this creature existed.
Yeah. And
how every sailor talked about mermaids and like them singing and dragging you in. And it's like, there has to be something to that.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be. I mean, we're discovering newer and newer species each year.
Yeah.
Like there's no way we know about everything, especially being covered in 75% water in this whole planet. It's like, there's so much, and there's different ecosystems, and there's depths we've never even traveled to. There's a lot, man.
Creepy.
Very scary.
There's apparently a short horror film based on the character.
Oh, really?
Look at the photo I sent. Just, you can watch that and tell us how that is.
I'm really sad that I didn't. Yeah, that's literally the type of picture.
Ew. Gosh.
Ugh.
I thought like that.
I'm
What is
bummed I didn't get that picture downloaded.
Qallupilluit? What does he say?
It's what we were saying. It's the Qallupilluit. Qallupilluit. That's how you pronounce it.
Piliuit.
But there's a lot of podcasts and YouTubers and Reddit threads that just talk about this thing, and it's like, I don't know, man. It does seem just like a scary, spooky story you tell your kids to pay attention, you know?
Yeah.
Be careful, mind your own parents, but
I wonder too if it was like their parents told them that story and their parents before them, and eventually it turned into like they were just saying this to scare me, but at one point maybe it was real.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Just
definitely.
got passed down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like, you think about kids who have left the faith after generations of like families going to church, and they're like, yeah, my parents believe that stuff, but I'm an atheist.
And then they get in a car wreck or get into drugs, and then something really supernatural happens, and they're like, "Yeah, I believe in Jesus now." You know, like that's crazy.
And then this kid has been told his whole life, "Don't go near the water," and they're like, "My parents are being silly," and then they're forever trapped under the ice with this sea witch.
Yep. So kids, if you're listening, mind your parents.
Speaking of something spiritual,
Ooh.
so I've been obviously, doing the whole Desert Fathers,
Yes.
studying lives of different saints.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's endless with how many cool stories there are.
Yeah.
And very inspiring stories. But this one is about Anthony the Great of Egypt.
Okay.
And he is called the father of monasticism.
Okay.
So he was like one of the first desert fathers. When he was in the desert, it was like 270 AD-ish.
What a wild world.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But like he grew up in like a Christian household in Egypt. And his parents died when he was like 20, and he had a younger sister. His parents left him this vast amount of wealth, property, all this stuff. And it was like a couple Sundays after his parents died, he went into church and they were reading out of the Gospels, and it said, "If you want to follow me, sell all your possessions and give to the poor and follow me."
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, "I'm going to do that." And so what he did, he sold all his possessions, which this whole story, I'm like, well, what about the sister? What happened to the sister?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. It was a different time.
Okay.
But he's like, I'm just going to go live as a monk, a hermit.
She was a possession.
No, I don't know. But he went, and what he did, this is so crazy, but he found an empty tomb, like a vacant tomb, like where they would bury someone that died. And he said, basically, someone followed him out there. He's like, I'm just going to live in here. And if you could just bring me bread every now and then, that's it. And he lived in this tomb in just complete silence, darkness. And the stories that he tells and that people tell around Anthony the Great are insane, where at one point, he literally battled the devil himself. And so this is what's so crazy about all these desert fathers. It was such a norm living in the deserts in like especially Egypt, constantly battling demons. Like these demons like literally beating you up. And which even today, it's like we talked to was it No Longer Nomads?
Yeah.
Where they talked about Egypt and just the weird spookiness that is around Egypt and like the genes. What are they called? The genes? The genies?
I can't remember.
Jinns.
The jinns. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I got goose things about it.
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
But we talk about it in that podcast, or they do, about like encounters with like the demonic and stuff in Egypt. So there's something with Egypt where it's like just prevalent there.
Moses fought him.
Yeah. And so this one story, these demons just start tormenting him in this tomb, this cave. And they literally beat him up so bad to where he almost died. And the guy that brought him bread saw him bloodied, almost dead, thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Dragged him back to the church, and they're like, "Oh gosh, he's gone, he's dead." And then he was able to get enough strength and told the guy, he's like, "Take me back to the tomb. I don't want these people to know that the devil did this to me."
Oh yeah.
And so they brought him back. He recovered, and then again they started attacking him more and more. And at this point, he had just been praying and praying. And this is such a cool quote that he said. He said, it's him talking to the demons, "If you have any power, one of you would have been enough. But since the Lord has taken away your strength, you try to frighten me by appearing in numbers. It is a sign of your helplessness, and you have taken the shape of brutes. If you have received power over me, do not wait, but lay on me. If you cannot, why are you chafing yourselves for nothing? For our trust in the Lord is like a seal to us, and like a wall of safety." And as soon as he said that, the ceiling just opened up. The whole cave was shaking, and just a piercing light came in. All the demons fled, and it was God, and God spoke to him. And Anthony said, "Where were you? Why didn't you appear at the beginning to stop this pain?" And God said, "I was here, Anthony, by way to see you struggle. And now, because you have endured and not have been defeated, and have not been defeated, I will always be your helper, and I will make your name known everywhere. And so then he was literally the father of monasticism.
Wow.
He inspired just thousands and thousands and thousands of monks.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And almost 2,000 years later, we're talking about him still in his story. How cool is that?
But an interesting story that I like, a little thing I caught that's really not talked about a lot. It's talked about in his biography that's written by Athanasius, who was in like the 480s. He wrote a biography about Anthony the Great.
Mm-hmm.
But he talks about this super weird encounter that Anthony the Great had. So one of the first known monks that lived in the desert besides Anthony the Great, it was actually before Anthony the Great, a little bit before, was Paul the Helper. And Anthony's like, I heard this man is this very holy man. I just want to go meet him. So he's traveling through the desert. And as he's traveling through the desert, he sees what he describes as something as part man, part horse.
Centaur.
Like a centaur. It didn't attack him. It silently points him in the right direction and then disappears.
Mm.
And he's like,
What?
Made nothing of it. But as he's walking, there's this thing that runs up to him. And what he described it as is a satire or a satyr?
Satyr.
Satyr.
Ugh.
A satyr, which is basically like a beast man, like a half goat, half man. And this is just so wild to me because the encounter was super strange. But this beast man, it said horned and goat-like, rough, hairy body, not fully human in appearance. But this creature runs up to him and speaks. And what this creature said to Anthony the Great was, I am a mortal being, one of those who dwell in the desert. We ask that you pray for us. And then the thing just disappears. And that's all that is written about it.
Pardon?
What?
Tell me again. What does that mean?
But this thing says, I am a mortal being, one of those who dwell in the desert. We ask that you pray for us. And that's
Interesting.
all that's written about in this biography. It doesn't mention that he prayed for it, and it's just kind of like brushed over. But
Very
at this
interesting.
time, when people read this, it shocked nobody because they're like, yeah, of course there are creatures like this living in the desert.
Yeah.
Weird.
And like, I just thought that was super, super wild of just like,
Yeah, man.
it
that
didn't
makes-
attack him. It wasn't like evil. It ran up to him and was like, can you pray for me?
Yeah.
What does
Yeah.
that mean?
What is
Yeah.
that? What are you
I mean,
doing
you
about
think about like the possibility of the Watchers,
it?
you know, like,
That's what I was thinking.
yeah, like doing all types of nasty stuff with, you know, the earthly women and animals and making all types of different creations. It's like, they didn't choose that life. The offspring didn't. And so
Yeah.
it makes you wonder, like, is their offspring doomed on earth as well as them to
Mm.
crawl and to be on this earth forever? And it's
Yeah.
like, can you pray for me? Like, pray that God can see past, you know,
There
the people
is-
that came before me.
We did talk about that one story of that saint who was like a dog man
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
What do you remember his name?
No.
But he would help people cross the river. Remember
Mhm,
that?
mhm.
It's interesting.
It's very crazy, dude.
It's super weird.
Golly, what would you do running up on like a freaking centaur in the desert?
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
know.
Crazy.
That'd be nuts.
I don't like the idea of Satan being able to beat me up.
Do what?
I don't like the idea of Satan being able to beat me up.
Dude, it was so common. I mean, like pretty much every saint story, especially like early church, demons beat them up.
Yeah.
Like physically beat them up.
I mean, I guess it does say in Job where like God is like, just do not harm him,
Do not kill
do
him.
not kill him.
Yeah.
They have the ability to do that.
Which is scary.
Those natural afflictions, though, in that narrative.
What do you mean?
Like, it's like he gets like leprosy type sores, and
Yeah.
it's like things that are known rather than like mysterious unknown ailments.
Well, it did say that Satan also blew the wind and made his house crumble.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, manifesting in a physical body,
Yeah.
crushing you, beating you up.
But-
Reminds me of Liar Liar when he beat himself up in the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's what everyone's like, did you do this to yourself?
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Crazy.
I've been loving studying these saints.
Yeah.
It's super inspiring. And like, it's so cool how they would like, they're just their humility in it. And like, I think they would even be like disappointed at how much people talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
But it really is, it's so edifying of just like, they just live this example of just full pursuit of Christ.
Yeah. And
you know?
they'd probably be disappointed more in our reaction to it.
Yeah.
Like if it's not questioning something, just move back there.
The knife.
Very good. The devil's like, I'll attack you right now. But just like, I think they'd be disappointed in our reaction to it and how it affects our faith or the lack of affecting our faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, those guys we have to ask ourselves, like, how dangerous is our faith to the enemy? Like, is it really, it's like, oh, I don't have to worry about these guys.
Devil's probably like, these guys are all right.
They're
not gonna-
fine. They're fine. I'm not worried about it. They're not going to put in much work. But these dudes were like literally like every ounce of their being, energy, time, blood, sweat, and tears to the advancement of the gospel,
Yeah.
to the advancement of Jesus, especially at that time. And that's the thing. We get separated from Jesus' time and it feels like we just water it down or it just feels less real.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think we realized how real he was, how much it would affect our life. And I'm speaking to me personally. Like, that's like, yeah, it's tough, man. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just imagining like a Christian upbringing 200 AD.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's crazy.
Which
in
is still
Egypt.
technically illegal because it was under like Diocletian and stuff, the Roman emperor who was like brutal towards Christianity.
Yeah, you think about the memorization of scripture they probably had within their households, teaching their kids, and it's like
At that point,
we're
it was all
slipping.
tradition. It was all orally passed down.
Yeah,
they
for the
didn't even
most
have,
part.
like, because
They
the
had-
written manuscripts don't come till like
they had-
3:30 or something, right?
You could buy,
some a little earlier.
Individual
Yeah.
scriptures.
Letters are being written.
yeah.
A genuine question. I don't mean this. So to prove I don't mean this in condescent, John the Baptist went out to the desert to do his ministry. So this is, I'm going to ask a question that sounds offensive. I don't intend for it to be. But, you know, he encounters the scriptures, sell everything you have, give to the poor, and moves out to the middle of nowhere. The last thing Jesus said is go and tell, make disciples. What, I'm missing something between like, how is he going and telling and going into isolation? What do they say for like everyone removing themselves? Like, how did they push the gospel if going into complete isolation?
You mean like with monasticism? And
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that?
I've always wondered. Like, I've always
no.
genuinely wondered that.
That's a good question. But I mean, it's like we have all their stories now and like,
And we're
just
telling them, and
the
maybe
acts of faith and
act like we think that God's only going to use our stories within our own timeline. Like, we have to think like how God can. He's like, you may not understand what I'm doing right now, but it's like you will one day. And so 1 to 100 monks compared to the billions of people that have lived on this earth, it's like, you know, I'm going to use your life in this way so they can affect this ripple later on and influence this person after another. And that's going to cause more ripple as well. And so
Did
I don't
people
know.
go to them though? Like John
Yeah.
the Baptist? Was that they were known almost like going to a.
Yeah, and
I
like
don't
a lot of these monks too, these desert dwellers, some of them were just hermits. It's a very few that are just hermits to where it's like cut off. And it's like, I just want to spend my whole devotion of living a life of repentance just for the glory of God. Like, I want to just break myself down to nothing. But a lot of these monks, they would go in, they would have church, they would do like into towns and do all kinds of stuff. So like wasn't
Still servant hearted.
yeah.
And my thing is, I always assume they're doing this because they're very strong. A lot of these guys were probably pretty weak, and that was one of the only ways they could truly commit their life to Christ is saying, I have to remove. Like, there's people who have theories of like, you know, like why certain people deal with, you know, lust or greed or whatever it may be. It's like you may never be out from underneath that, and it may be there.
Once you move to a cave in the desert.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like you may have that simply so God's saying, I need you to rely on me. I'm going to have you be reminded of this every single day because it is your flesh and you're never going to, you know, like you have to die of your flesh, but you're going to be reminded every single day so that you can rely on me. And it's going to get less and less over time, but it's like,
there is a story just like that of this saint. She was Saint Mary of Alexandria Alexandria, right?
I can't remember.
Saint Mary of Egypt.
I think it's Egypt.
Yeah, Saint Mary of Egypt. And this one's a little PG-13, so if your kids are listening, but this lady, Mary, she I forget where she was. Oh, in Egypt. No.
I'll look it up. St. Mary.
Yes, she was from Egypt.
There's a couple of St. Mary's.
St. Mary from Egypt. She was from Egypt, and she was a very promiscuous young lady. Like, in fact, some would say, like, addicted to
Gotcha.
fornication. But like from a very early age. Like I think the thing I saw was like 12 years old, and she
Yeah.
like fled home.
It is Egypt.
Yeah.
Okay. And she saw that they were doing like this procession of the cross in Egypt, that they were going to Jerusalem with this cross. Like it was like a little pilgrimage. And she's like, I want to do that. I just want to travel, do that. And so she got onto the boat by telling the captain and the crew that, hey, I can do stuff. And they're like, okay, yeah, come on. Which is also kind of weird because they're doing a pilgrimage to Jerusalem. Whatever. She gets there. She's just fornication all in the holy city of Jerusalem. She comes to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre where the cross is going. Doors open. She goes to walk in. Boom. Boom. She cannot pass through the doorway. She's like, it's literally like a force field pushing her back. And she's like, she would run and hit it and just bounce right back. And she's like, what in the world? She falls down. She's super like, what is going on? She looks and she sees an icon of Mary and Jesus. And then instantly hears all of her sin, that it is true sin that is corrupting her body. And she says, basically like, I repent. I won't do this anymore. Please just let me go into this church. And then she's able to go in.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, she devotes her whole life to just serving Christ. And then fast forward years, I'm going to totally butcher the story because this is a couple of weeks ago that I saw this. But fast forward, this is like 40 years later. There was this priest that would do every year before Holy Week or during Holy Week, he would walk through the desert outside of Jerusalem just to like his own little sabbatical thing. Just no noise, nothing, just his little journey.
Yeah.
And at first he sees this figure in the desert. This is 40 years after. And he's like, oh my gosh, that's a demon. Because it just looked crazy. And then he's like, I think he did the sign of the cross or something. And it was still just walking away. He's like, okay, that's not a demon. I don't know what that is. And he's like, oh, that seems to be a person. And so he started following this person. And he's like yelling. He's like, hey, can I talk to you? He's like, surely this person, if they're wandering in the desert, they're probably a monk or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, can I talk to you? And he's following for miles. And finally, there's a river. He gets to the river. They're already on the other side of the river. He's like, hey, I beg you to turn around and give me your blessing. And it was a woman. And she says, Father, I cannot turn around. You must throw me your cloak, for I am naked. And he's like, okay, throws the cloak. She turns around. And it's a woman. It was Mary of Egypt.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, and it's just so many questions. And what was fascinating is this priest, he's like, she knew everything about him, his name, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she just started like, he said that she was so wise in the scriptures and the gospels and stuff. He's like, this is fascinating. He's like, who taught you to read and write? And she says, I don't know how to read or write. She said, I've lived in the desert for 40 years. Mary has taught me everything about Christ.
Holy moly.
And, but she goes on of like, after the church experience, she went straight to the desert. And she said, for 17 years, I was battling with lust.
Mm-hmm.
And for 17 years, I wanted to turn around and go back. But I was just kept on getting pushed, like continue, until after 17 years, it finally broke. And so now my whole life is just dedicated to Christ and just in solitude because I never want to go back to that. And she's like, all I ask of you is that you don't come back out here until next year. And please bring me Eucharist, the Holy Communion, for I've never taken it.
Wow.
And so she said, do not come back out and see me for that year. If you do, something bad's going to happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, okay. And
Weird.
so he comes back after a year. She's there. She takes communion for the first time. It was so edifying to her. It was just so, oh my gosh. She says, thank you. Please come back in one more year. Same time next year. He said, okay. Goes a year later, comes back, finds her dead.
in the exact same spot. But in the ground, written beside her, says basically the date of which she died and bury me here. And all it said was Mary. And he figured out that she died as soon as he left the year prior. But her body was completely uncorrupted. So she had been laying in that spot for a whole year after taking communion. And he's like, okay, I'm going to bury her here. But the ground was just super hard and super rocky. And he's just like, I don't know. I can't dig a hole. And while he's thinking that, a lion walks up. And he's like, And the lion walks up to Mary and licks her feet. And he says, surely the Lord has sent you. Can you help me dig this hole? And immediately the lion digs the hole.
That's
and
crazy.
He buries Mary. And so,
what?
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's wild.
Man. That's so fun. That's a fun story. Golly.
Crazy, isn't it?
Crazy. That's so nuts, man.
So I think I'm going to just walk around the desert naked.
Yeah. I'm worried about you reading all these stories. You're going to like go into monasticism.
No, I'm too scared. I'm going to be by myself.
One night in the cave, you're done.
Yeah. Anyways.
That's crazy. There's something about, I mean, I don't know. That's always been, because there's such conflict with Christian, in Catholics and just, I know Catholics are Christian, whatever. But it's just the whole image of Mary and stuff. But there is something significant about Mary, obviously, because one of the last things Jesus said was to take care of his mother.
Yeah.
He recognized something special about mothers. And so,
yeah, you
happy late Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Yeah.
You should look into, there is a story, obviously, that we don't have in our canon, but the disciples recorded it because the disciples were there for when Mary died. Jesus received her.
That's what, we've talked about that. That's
and
really, it's interesting.
The disciples that we trust with the gospel said that. So she is significant.
Oh, big time. There's definitely some significance about her. There's to
be the mother of God,
yeah,
of Christ,
yeah,
there has to be some significance to that.
I saw some quote recently, and it said, "The whole world is just made up of mothers and their children."
Oh gosh, I saw that too, and I was
like, "Oh, that's
awesome.
true.
That's awesome.
Very true.
That is true."
Speaking of mothers and their children, do you guys know we have an episode right after this? Patreon.com/Ninjas to Butterflies or YouTube members.
Yes.
We're here for you too.
But if you download the Patreon app, guess what? You get behind the scenes content. We're releasing a John Mulaney interview that we did with him on his, not really an interview, but we were on his show very briefly, and it shows the behind the scenes of that night. That's being released probably tomorrow, which is in the past. So it's already on there.
Yeah.
Go check that out. You get discount codes on Swagster. You get a personalized community on Discord. It's a blast. We have a ton of conversations on there, and you guys are going to be helping us out with future content. Ideas in the future, so it's gonna be really good. We're talking about in the future, in the past, dude.
Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. And if you guys need any custom apparel, go to SundayCool.com. Start your order today.
Yes, let us do your t-shirts or your hats or your stickers or whatever it is.
Let us do it. All right.
All right. We love you. Jesus loves you.
Ninjas.
Bye bye.
Butterflies. Did I say ninja? I meant butterfly. The butterfly is no doubt one of God's most beautiful creations. I said empty your mind.
You learn martial arts! Ninjas are dead!